Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Barnabas Speaks. This is presented by the Barnabas Project, which is my empowerment and encouragement ministry. And I just wanted to welcome you to Barnabas Speaks. This is the very first one. I'll be doing this every first Monday. It'll be your Monday motivation. And I just want to take a little bit of time just to kind of motivate you and to push you in the right direction as you begin to start your month. This is the second month of the new year, and I just wanted to encourage you. Before I do that, I want to share with you, it's been a while since I've done anything on YouTube, like 6 years since I've done anything. And one of the things I want to share with you is the book that I was been graced and blessed to write, which is The Becoming, and it's helping the Christian disciple gain a practical perspective of their relationship with Christ. Once again, it is The Becoming, helping the Christian disciple gain a practical perspective of their relationship with Christ. So, what is the book about? The book is really about helping the Christian disciple to gain not just a practical perspective. I really, like I'm saying the title all over again, but really it is to crack open every person's relationship with Christ. How do I understand it better? It started off, I was blessed to have the opportunity a few years ago to have a lunchtime Bible study with some of my co-workers when I was in the Air Force, and we'd have lunchtime Bible studies, and a lot of them were just really trying to understand and better be invested in the relationship with Christ. And that's what this book does. It helps you to invest in a relationship with God, Christ, and take ownership of your relationship with Christ. And that's what that book is about. If you would like to buy the book, if you would like to purchase the book, you can do it one of two ways. You can go to Amazon.com and search The Becoming, or search my name, Cloyed, Cloyed Brown, and you'll be able to purchase it either on paperback or the Kindle. Or you can inbox me, whether it's at Facebook, whether it is at whether it's on Instagram, or whether it's on Twitter. You can DM me. And my Instagram and my Facebook are my name, Cloyed Brown. You could find me there, and you can inbox it, or you can also get the link from there. Inbox me if you would like an autographed copy. All right. So, what is the Barnabas Project, rather, and what is Barnabas Speaks? This is an empowerment moment. Just a moment to empower you, to encourage you, to push you forward in your life, in your walk with Christ, in your everyday life. Barnabas in the Bible means to be the son of encouragement, and that came from a friend, a mentor, my brother Kevin Hill. He one time he said you have the Barnabas spirit, and I'm one of those people. As a kid, my mom would always be like, "Hey, if you don't understand something, you don't know how to spell a word, you don't know what a word means, you get your dictionary and look it up." So that's what I did. I looked it up and I realized that it meant the son of encouragement. And I liked that because I always felt like I was an encourager, I was an empowerer, I was a push, someone that pushed you forward. And one of the things I used to tell my friends and my co-workers and my brothers and sisters in arms is that I am not, when it came to fitness, and when it came to physical fitness and passing the PT test, I said I am not the rabbit that paced you, but I'm the lion that chases you. And that's what I always have seen myself is. I am the loud voice that's pushing you and telling you that you can do it, that you can be pushed forward. And I've always been that way. And I think I came to the realization of that. And this is what I want to do. This is one, because it's what God has told me to do. And two, because I believe that I can really begin to empower you and help you to move it to the next level. And so the easiest way to do it is to start off with what I just did. And I just completed this book, once again, The Becoming, helping the Christian disciple to gain a practical perspective in their relationship with Christ. And as I was beginning to write this book, it was probably one of the greatest and one of the harder things that I've had to do in my life, really. It was one of the harder things because it was something I never done before. I never did before, rather. And it required me to break out of my comfort zone. It required me to push past the things that I know, and to push past my fears, and to push past the internal voice is telling me that I cannot do it, or know what, you didn't have an audience. I had all these voices saying that you have an audience. Who's going to read your book? Why would you write a book? What do you have to say? What qualifies you to write it? And I had all these different things that were coming upon me, and that I would begin to say to myself, and I used to speak to myself, that was trying to discourage me from writing the book. Now, maybe you don't have a book. Maybe you don't have something. Maybe it's not writing a book. Maybe it's starting a business. Maybe it's starting fitness. Maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's doing something like this. Maybe it's starting your own YouTube video. Maybe it is going out and being a speaker. And maybe it is whatever it may be. It can be a multitude and a box full of things that you have on your mind that you want to do. No matter what it is, no matter who's listening to this, I'm here to tell you that you have to quiet the greatest doubter in your life. The greatest doubter is not that you're quote unquote haters. The greatest doubter is not your teachers. It's not your job. It's none of those things. The greatest doubter is the enemy in you. The enemy in you. Or for me, it would be the enemy in me. And so that's what it is. The greatest voice is that voice of doubt, the voice of low self-esteem, the voice of discouragement that is within you, not from the outside. Because we can find ways to block the voices from the outside if we can. But the challenge is that we have not learned how to quiet the voice on the inside. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is, one of my favorite accounts really, is the story of Moses, and as he's on the mountain and he's getting his assignment from God. It is not anybody else that's telling him that he's unqualified to do this thing. It is himself. He says, as he's speaking and talking and conversing with God, he says that he begins to name his flaws and fallacies and his shortcomings. He begins to say that I'm not strong in speech. He begins to say that when I go there, they're not going to listen to me. He begins to now discourage himself on what God has told him that he could do. And those become the challenges that often that we begin to be in our own ear, in our inner ear, saying that, no, we cannot do this. No, it's too much to do it. No, that you don't have the talent, and no, you don't have the resources, and no, that who's going to listen to you. That's what I was telling myself, like, who is going to be your audience? And what God told me to do is just write the book and let me worry about the audience. And the challenge is that we do not want to begin to do the work and then let the work speak for itself. That's all we have to do, is begin to do the work, begin to push forward and do the things that God has instructed us to do. And we'll begin to do those things. Then we remove ourselves out of our way and say, God, I'm being obedient. And if I'm obedient, I am now leaving the task of the response to this work on you. I'm no longer taking responsibility for that. If we could ever get out of the mindset that we have to control each and every aspect of it, we have to control our audience, we have to control their people's response. Also, the first thing we need to do is find out how to get the best product, the best gift, the best work that we have to do. And one of the things that I had to learn in writing this book is that I couldn't look too far ahead. And sometimes as a visionary, as a dreamer, we want to look at each step and we want to go ahead of ourselves. But the reality is that we can only take it one step at a time. One time when we were in a youth meeting, our youth pastor gave this example. And when she was meeting with other youth pastors, they posed a question, how do you eat an elephant? And it's not something that we think about. How do you eat elephant? How do you eat elephant? And the answer was one piece at a time, one part at a time. You cannot go so far ahead of yourself that you try to eat the elephant whole. If whatever you're doing, whether it is your own business, whether it is your own writing company, no matter what it is, if you try to eat it whole, you will not be able to do it. You must eat it one piece at a time. Take it one step at a time. I posted this on my on as a video a couple weeks back, just a short 1-minute video, and I said it was on my Snapchat and on my Instagram, and I said, the greatest challenge to our dreams and accomplishing our goals is not that we don't have the talent. It's not that we're not willing to work hard enough. It's not even that we don't want it bad enough. It's that we don't have a balance sheet to accomplish our dreams. We need a balance sheet to accomplish our dreams. A balance sheet in college is basically a guide on how do you accomplish your goal of getting a degree. And so this is the same concept. How do we accomplish our goal of accomplishing our dreams? And we need to begin to sit down and write either internal or a physical list of how we're going to do it, step by step. It wasn't until I spoke to my editor and she said, do you have a vision board or a flow chart for your book? And I had never thought of it. And so what I did is I got me a whiteboard and I began to write down the themes and the flow of each chapter of my book. What was the title and what was I trying to say, to say? And as I began to do that, then I began to realize that it was easier to write the book because I had a step-by-step flow chart on how I wanted the book to read, what I was trying to say, and what the chapter's goal and thrust was. And as I began to write, then I began to take it I took the book as one chapter at a time, one section at a time, one topic at a time. And as I began to do that, each step became easier. It began to flow more. It began to be more readable. And so as you begin to reach and chase your goals, beloved, these are the things that you have to begin to think about. Write down, even if it's a simple flow chart. Well, if it's to be able to start your business, well, okay, first I need to define what my business is. Then I need to create a business plan, even if it's just a rough draft of a business plan. Boom, then I need to figure out who my audience is going to be, who my customer base is going to be, who am I trying to reach, how do I reach them, what's the best way to reach them, do I need a website? And you begin to write down this list and begin to answer those questions, and you begin to realize that as you begin to do it, you'll begin to see all those things come together. It is not that you don't want it bad enough. It's not that it's too hard. It is really that you don't have a flow chart or a balance sheet or a degree audit sheet for your dreams. And if you begin to do that and realize that you do not have to eat it whole, you only have to do it in enough time. You only have to take it one step at a time, bite one step at a time, and you begin to quiet the voice in your head that's telling you that you can't do it. When you have a plan, you'll be able to help silence the voice that's within you, that you'll begin to able to defeat the enemy in you. God bless you, and I love you, and I hope this finds you well. And I'll find you next Monday for Barnabas Speaks, Monday Motivation.